A thread by a non-patriot Q, which begins with a tweet from Lynn Wood. Good morning. Last night, I filed an emergency motion for injunctive relief against Georgia Secretary of State. Relief sought includes an order prohibiting certification, which includes defective absentee ballots and requiring that a hand recount be performed. The thread begins. The tsunami of evidence has begun. 188-page motion complete with sworn affidavits filed by Lynn Wood in Georgia. Let's dig in. Page 57, quote, "At no time did I witness any recounter or any individual participating in the recount verifying signatures." Page 58, I'm skipping around. "There was no person verifying the number of votes that the recounter would write on paper. At no point was I was able to get close enough to a review table to see the ballots and the markings on them. It was strange. There were many ballots where just Joseph Biden was filled in and no other candidate whatsoever. At another table, I watched the recounters pull out a stack of ballots that appeared to be strange too. The bubble filled out for Joseph Biden looked to be a perfect black mark. Witnesses saw ballots for Trump being put into the Biden pile from the motion. While in Henry County, I personally witnessed ballots cast for Donald Trump being placed in the pile for Joseph Biden. I witnessed this happen at Table A. I interviewed a few observers that same day who informed me that on multiple occasions, recounters at tables A, B, G, and O were seen placing ballots cast for Donald Trump placed in the pile for Joseph Biden. When this was brought to Ms. Pitt's attention, it was met with extreme hostility. At no time did I witness any ballot cast for Joseph Biden be placed in the pile for Donald Trump. More witnesses to impeccable ballots just for Biden. No signature verification. It was of from the motion. It was of particular interest to me that hundreds of these ballots seemed impeccable, with no folds or creases. The bubble selections were perfectly made, all within the circle. Only observed selections in black ink, and all happened to be selections for Biden. It was also of particular interest to me to see that signatures were not being verified and there were no corresponding envelopes seen in sight. Locations changed mid-recount. I'm sure all the Trump boxes made it over from the complaint. Soon after, before noon, we were notified that the location would close and the recount would be moved to Jackson Elementary to allow for more space and more monitors. The recount resumed at Jackson Elementary on or about 1:30 p.m. after boxes of ballots were brought in a Clayton County white van with tag GV57976 and taken into Jackson Elementary. It's a license plate number, I think. More votes for other candidates being moved to Biden's pile. Witness even got video proof from the motion. As a floor monitor, I could see by the markings that the ballots being audited were absentee ballots. I witnessed two poll workers placing already separated paper machine receipt ballots with barcodes in the Trump tray, placing them into the Biden tray. I also witnessed the same two poll workers putting the already separated paper receipt ballots in the no vote and Jorgensen tray and removing them and putting them inside the Biden tray. They then took out all of the ballots out of the Biden tray and stacked them on the table, writing on the count ballot sheet. A copy of the video reflecting this. I didn't. Okay, there, hang on. Let me make sure I get the rest of this. Sorry, my picture is covering it up. A copy of the video reflecting this is attached as Exhibit A. Great. Witness confirms the complete sham that the Georgia recount is. From the motion, around 4 p.m., I saw another auditor incorrectly sort Biden votes without verification from another auditor. That auditor was collecting ballots that he said were voted for Biden and sorting them into 10 ballot stacks, but he did not show the ballots to anyone else. This violated the whole purpose of verifying the ballots as counted. Counterfeit ballots, fake watermarks from the motion. I also observed that the watermark on at least 3 ballots were solid gray instead of transparent, leading me to believe that the ballot was counterfeit. I challenged this, and the elections director said that it was a legitimate ballot and was due to the use of different printers. Most secure election in history. Chris Krebs, former CISA director. From the motion. Batches of ballots were marked with discrepancies on post-it notes. See picture on Annex 1. Ballots were placed in unmarked bins that were unattended or just placed randomly on a counter just lying around. There appeared to be little, if any, supervision or control. I saw at least one open ballot box. Container ABM5B/311482252. See picture on Annex 1. More laptops from hell, apparently, from the motion. A laptop with access to the data entry system was left in the open area with the password for the Wi-Fi and the laptop on a post-it note affixed to the laptop. When informed of this security breach, the supervisor simply said, quote, "I know." The quote, "secured ballot counting area" was wide open to many people, even some without a security badge. One worker was entering numbers and writing on ballot sheets alone and out of sight of the security camera. When informed, the supervisor simply moved her to another table. Updates to come, guys. Isn't that a great recount they got going on in Georgia?
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.